College football is not just a game played for fun on the playground, but a multi-billion-dollar business industry. In 2011, one college football team earned more than $100 million in football revenues. Out of 25 college football teams, the lowest amount of college football revenues earned was more than $25 million in 1 year. Like any multi-billion-dollar business industry in America, college football is exclusively controlled by Europeans by any means necessary.
In all of the programs that I attended, all of the education that I had, college, public, and otherwise, nobody ever told me that I was an African woman. Nobody ever told me what the history of African people were. Nobody ever told me that America is business, and without business you will have nothing and be nothing. And nobody ever told me how to organize business so that I would be able to develop institutions in my own community. So now the sincerity of all of the programs and all of the education has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because the bottom line is that America is not and has never tried to produce African adults who are functional, self-sufficient, who understand their politics, their economics, and their relationship to the world politics and the world economics.
America is satisfied with the NAACP, the Urban League, and the traditional we shall overcome civil rights leaders of the 50s and 60s that have been all but abandoned and ignored by younger people, Sister Soldier included.
I think that the dice are loaded, and that's what's left out of Mr. Brown's piece. See, there was a period of time in this country after Reconstruction where African people owned a lot of land, owned a lot of businesses, and did a lot of things. But what happened was the American government, the Ku Klux Klan, and other organizations organized in smashing that effort. So it's not that we haven't tried to own lands and have not organized businesses. It's that if you are African in America, or in Latin America, or in the Caribbean, or in the continent, you will be hunted no matter what you do, because they do not want us to survive and become self-sufficient. And you can say no, but you haven't lived this life. You haven't lived this life.
And to be happy, I'm talking about that. All right. Now, to paraphrase Senator Bradley of New Jersey, the state from which your piece was...
Senator Bradley gets much right when he talks.
He does, and he, among other things, and he's not claiming to be particularly original with the observation, we can't get there unless we go together. I have a terrible feeling that behind me are some people who do not agree.
Senator Bradley of the all-white United States Senate said we can't get there unless we all go there together. Sorry, none of us are where he is. That's number one. Number two, you're making a moral appeal to a country that doesn't have a moral conscience. The question becomes that when white people feel serious and angry and upset about abortion, they come out in the thousands up to the millions to say, this is what we believe about abortion. Where is the white outcry against white racism that murders African people all around this entire globe? It doesn't exist. So who are these white good people? I want to meet them. I want to see them. A few is not enough.
But that might be all we can get.
And guess what? I don't work with all I can get. What I work with is what I have. Listen, you have to have some confidence in the power of African people amongst ourselves to establish a foundation.
We have.
No, we haven't. We have utter chaos in our cities, and you got to see that. You can have a program. I'm not saying we've built a lot of institutions, and those institutions have not been effective. The majority of millions of African youth in this country are dying mentally, dying spiritually, dying emotionally, dying academically, and you may have a program, Mr. Brown may have a program, but what we got to talk about is an American government that tracks millions of African people who don't go to your program, don't go to Brown's program, millions of African people, not only here, but all around the world, and if we are not honest enough to say who are our friends, who are our enemies, to know what a friend is, to know what an enemy is, we will constantly be trying to get into people's parties, to shake our butts with them, to get them to like us, and that's not the question. The question is, what can we build amongst ourselves to secure ourselves from our enemies so that we will be able to survive into the future?
Mayor Kelly.
It's enough to know that if I walk out Washington, D.C. tonight, some black kid in Washington, D.C. is blowing off another black kid's head for a pair of sneakers because the institutions that we're talking about, not the things that we hold up to say, look, this is one example. The institutions that we're talking about are not saving the minds of those African children. That is the honest truth. None of these Negroes saved me. None of these Negroes. Your mother didn't help save you. None of them. You did it by yourself. Listen, you know who saved me? A man named John DeScendants in Englewood, New Jersey, who told me who I was, who showed me my history, who told me who my enemies were, who let me know that this was not an easy world, who let me know that this was a cold environment, who let me know what he's not a part of is dilly-dallying with the minds of African children and letting them know what the real situation is in America.
If predominantly white football teams were forced to play historically black football teams, we all know what the end result would have been. Historically black football teams would have destroyed the legally enforced mythology of white superiority. Historically black football teams would have dominated college football and placed themselves in position to demand the billions of dollars now being made in college football revenues by predominantly white football programs today. If black music entertainers and black blue chip football players and coaches would have not sold out and abandoned black-owned and HBCU football programs, they would be billions of dollars richer today. In 2011, the University of Georgia made $75 million in football revenues. The University of Alabama made $81 million. Michigan made $85 million. Auburn made $77 million. Tennessee made $53 million. Ohio State made $58 million. Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma made $59 million. Penn State made $66 million. LSU made $68 million. Florida, the University of Florida made $74 million. South Carolina made $48 million. Texas A&M made $42 million. Clemson made $39 million. And the University of Texas made $104 million. These are football revenues made in just 1 year. These predominantly white football teams are only able to compete at this level with the assistance of black blue chip football players. When you see the top 20 college football teams playing on television, you see predominantly, if not completely, all black players on the field. Historically black football programs and the black community are being economically exploited as sellout black leaders are seen accepting another piece of fried chicken at the back door. If Grambling University or Florida A&M University made $100 million in 1 year in football revenues over the past 40 years, that amounts to $4 billion. For the last 10 years, that would equal $1 billion. For the past 5 years, $500 million. What could HBCU colleges and universities do with that type of money each year? Black college administrators, coaches, and black families must reevaluate the black gold they are allowing to leave their neighborhood only to enrich others. If a predominantly white football program such as the University of Miami could recruit black blue-chip football players from the streets of Miami and build a national football powerhouse overnight, historically black football programs can do the same. You have a cultural advantage. Anything less is a disgrace to the race. The question that must now be answered is, why did black blue-chip football players and coaches abandon historically black football programs after 1964 for predominantly white football programs when they could have taken over college football and a multi-billion-dollar entertainment industry? Question number 2. How can historically black football programs regain dominance and control of college football? These questions will be answered when you read the book, The Stolen Legacy of Black College Football. Again, this book is available on Amazon.com. The title, The Stolen Legacy of Black College Football, author LeGrant Anthony.
From FAMU muffs the punt. The West team recovers. That's Brandon Scaines on the recovery. A couple of plays later, Winston Thompson hits the corner, gets into the end zone. The West is up by a score of 7-0. And there would be more reasons for those guys to get excited. Because the next time the West had ball, Josh Boudreaux from UAPB made something good happen. The West team raced out to a 14-0 halftime lead. They hits Hills, Crouch is 14-7. Slide, jump up, just for a minute, let's all do the bump. Yeah, you can't touch this. Look, man, can't touch this. You better get a hype, boy, because you know you can't touch it. Stop. Hammer time.
That everybody won't see it. That everybody won't join you. It's necessary to know that. Everybody won't have the vision. Everybody won't have the vision. Everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that you are an uncommon breed. That you are an uncommon breed. That you are an uncommon breed. It's necessary that you align yourself with people and attract people into your business who are hungry, people who are unstoppable and unreasonable, people who are refusing to leave life just as it is and who want more. The people that are living their dream of finding winners to attach themselves to. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that if it's going to happen, it's up to them.
This people will remember me. I will define myself. I will never go out not knowing I've given everything I've got. Because who am I? I am the champion.
If you want to be more successful, if you want to have and do stuff you ain't never done before, number 2, I'm asking you to invest in you. To invest in you.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That you don't have to go through life being a victim.
I choose to rise, not fall. I choose to live, not die. I choose to fight back.
I'm coming.
Even though you face disappointments, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself.
This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it, period.
No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. And some of you right now, you want to be, you know what I'm saying, you want to go to the next level. I want to counsel, you know, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor. Listen to me, you can't get to that level. You can't get to the level economically where you want to be until you start investing in your mind. You're not reading books. I'm challenging y'all to go to conferences. I dare you to invest time. I dare you to be alone. I dare you to spend an hour getting to know yourself. When you become who you are, when you become the person that you were created to be, designed to be who you were designed to be, when you become an individual, what you do is you take yourself and you start separating yourself from other people. I'm telling you to get to a place where people don't like you, it don't even bother you no more. Why? Because you're not concerned with trying to make them happy, because you're trying to grow. You're trying to get to the next level. I need you to invest in your mind. Invest in your mind. If you still talk about your dream, if you still talk about your goal, but you have not done anything, just take the first step.
That you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. Don't let nobody steal your dream. After we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and saying to yourself,